Pussycat, welcome to my channel. My name's Emma Cownley, I'm a freelance copywriter and blogger, and I've just spilled coffee all over my hand. Today we're going to be talking about a topic that has plagued me since the beginning of my freelance career, and that is defining what success looks like to you in your freelance business. That sounds like a particularly nebulous topic to be talking about, kind of vague, kind of wishy-washy, but here is why it's fucking relevant to talk about. I've seen a lot of shit floating around in the online freelance world about hitting six figures and becoming a six-figure freelancer. In fact, my friend Penny actually covered it in an article in a recent issue of Freelancer magazine about what it is to be a six-figure freelancer and why so many freelancers have that as the ultimate goal in their business. I also see a lot of discourse around freelancers comparing themselves to other freelancers, people, coming onto LinkedIn and sharing their big successes and really just looking like the absolute fucking cat's pajamas. And you're kind of reading all of this, and thinking,
oh fuck, I need to be doing X, Y, and Z. Why haven't I done this by this point? Why can't I get more of this? They're more successful than me. I must look like such a loser. My portfolio is blah, 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 blah.
A lot of self-comparison, a lot of lofty targets. And it's so easy to kind of get swept up and swirled around in what is essentially a deluge of other people's successes and goals. Because when you're freelance, the only person in charge of defining what success looks like in the business is you, the individual, right? So without a firm understanding of what success looks like to you, shit's gonna get confusing. You're gonna feel dissatisfied within your work, within your business, and you're really not going to be able to shape the kind of career that you want because you don't really know what you want, right? It's something that I have struggled with in myself really badly these last few years. So I started out freelancing as a generalist because I'd come from the print industry. All I'd been writing about for however many years was print, and I wanted to try something new to see if I could do it, right? And my only business goal was to make as much money as I was earning as an in-house employee. I just wanted to earn a comparable wage and I was going to be happy. I just wanted clients and I wanted to be freelance. Those were the goals. I managed to complete those goals within the first 6 months of being freelance. And by the end of my second year, I was making fucking bank, more money than I'd ever made when I was working in-house, and I was deeply unsatisfied because, as it turns out, lots of money and lots of clients it wasn't what was going to make me happy. I didn't know that until I had it, and I was like, shit, this doesn't make me happy at all. And so I made the choice to niche down into a very specialised area of freelancing, and a couple of years on, I'm still struggling to define what success looks like for me. So I thought, do you know what? It's a brand new fucking year, right? So why don't we sit down together and think about some metrics we can use to determine what success looks like for you. And then you can start planning what you're going to get up to this year, start kind of really making action plans and fucking concrete, tangible steps to get you to where you want to be and to give you a firmer idea of what your dream business actually looks like, so that when you next are on LinkedIn and you see somebody talking about their six-figure business or their latest award win or the brand new fucking amazing retainer they just got, you can say, good for them, I'm really pleased for my colleague, but I don't need to feel attacked or lesser than now that I've read this comment, because I know what I want for my business and it's not that. I can be happy with my own successes. This has been a really long intro. If you're still watching, you're my favourite. Okay, so the way I see it, the best place to start in fleshing out what a great business looks like to you is to look back over the year you've just had and to think about what the best things were in that year, what things made you feel fucking awesome about yourself, what projects made you so excited to work on them, which new clients did you really, really want, you know, and all of those types of things, the best bits of the year, and try and define down what exactly that was. Was it more clients in a particular sector? Was it more projects of a particular type? Was it things like award wins or really big successful paychecks or, you know, working collaboratively on other projects? Like, what type of thing was it that made you really, really happy that you had just done? And if you're a brand new freelancer, maybe think about things in the past that you have done that have made you feel really happy and fulfilled, and try to crystallize those down into, well, actually, what was that? Was it working collaboratively? Was it winning an exciting new client? Was it writing more scripts? Like, what was it? And then similarly, look back over the year and think about all of the things that you really fucking hated. Shitty, boring jobs, difficult clients, situations that you tried and they just weren't for you. And you can use those to define what you want to move away from. I did a video on this, when the fuck was it? Was it at the end of Q2 or Q1 last year? That takes you through my process for doing this, which I took from Louise Shanahan's 15-minute freelancer podcast. And it's basically to have a more of goal and a less of goal. What do you want more of in the coming year and what do you want less of? And when you look at that, you can really begin to see what you're wanting to kind of aim for this year and what you're wanting to avoid. And that can really help to kind of shape the trajectory of the year ahead. Another thing I like to think about is, what do I want from my business? Do I actually want more days off and more flexibility in my life and in my time? And that's why I've gone freelance, and that's why freelancing is best for me, because I want more time off? Is it because I want the freedom to choose which projects I'm working on and I want to work on cool, exciting shit rather than big ticket jobs which are really, really boring? Or do I relish those really, really big jobs? You know, what am I looking to get out of my business? What should my business be doing for me? Should it just be paying the bills? Should it be giving me more freedom? Should it be giving me more creativity? Should it be giving me all of the above? What do I want from it? Because ultimately, that's what is valuable to you as a professional, and that's what you need to be shaping your business as for the year ahead. More days off, thinking about looking at your schedule to kind of factor in new ways of working to facilitate that flexible time. Looking at new ways of pitching to get those really big punchy contracts that you're wanting. Maybe putting your prices up to get that revenue goal that you're trying to hit. You know, shit like that. Also, what do you want for your business? What do you want your business to become? Do you want to be a little boutique agency? Do you want to be the little renegade freelancer on the side that's just edgy and doing all the shit that the other freelancers won't do? Do you want to be luxury? Like, what do you want that business to be? When people come in and they see your brand, what should they extrapolate from that? What should they take from your brand that no one else has got? Like, what do you want that business to be? I think that that's always a really fun thing to do, because then you get to kind of move into branding, and it gives you the opportunity to narrow your services down, or maybe expand them, or maybe change them. It gives you the opportunity to maybe choose a niche within your sector, or a niche that you prefer to write in. It's a really exciting thing to do, and it helps you make a business that you want. So it's not just about what you're able to take from your business. It's more about what you're able to put into your business to craft what you would want it to be. I promised you this video wasn't going to be really nebulous, yet here we are. It's also good to think about what makes you feel successful and what brings you joy, because the two may not be the same. For example, for me, I feel really successful when I sign a punchy client proposal, like a big, expensive, chunky client proposal. When I've pitched that with a really punchy fee and it gets signed off, that person is saying that on board with my ideas, they want to work with me, and they're willing to pay me a lot of money to get it done. That shows incredible trust, and it gets me really excited to do the work, and it makes me feel like, yeah, I am an expert, I am a professional, someone, I'm being treated as a business because I am a business, and that makes me feel successful. But what brings me creative joy? It's writing articles on Tim Burton and Halloween for Metal Hammer, or writing my witchy newsletter, or making these videos on YouTube. Creative shit that I'm doing for myself, that are about my interests, that are about the things I enjoy. Finding ways to plug my own interests and passions into the art of writing. That's what gets me really excited and brings me joy. And unfortunately, those things aren't particularly profitable. In fact, some of them aren't profitable at all. So my challenge for the year ahead will be finding the equilibrium. How am I going to get those, I need a mix of those big projects, those big ticket projects, and those fun, low earning, creative jobs. And if I can get that mix just right, I'm going to feel satisfied and I'm going to feel successful. So that's just an example for you there. I think, make a list for yourself and just Venn diagram that shit and see where the overlap is between, joy and success. So by this point, you should have a list of shit that you want more of for the next year, shit that you want less of, what you want for your business, what you want from your business, what makes you feel successful and what makes you feel joyful. And through all of that, if you can condense that down into action points, you're effectively giving yourself some goals and tasks for the year. And if you can break that down further into a series of actions, okay, so I want more big ticket projects. How am I going to get there? I'm going to make sure that I'm sending X amount of pitches every single month. I'm going to be looking for those opportunities. I'm going to be posting on social media about how I'm open to those opportunities. Things that I've done in the past that are similar to that, championing that and bringing that shit back out so that you can attract more people who are after that kind of thing, and making things that you can do consistently every week, every month. And then each quarter, you've got the opportunity to look back over that list and say, well, have I been doing these things? What else could I be doing? Is this working? Because if not, now is the time to change the tactic and go forward into the next quarter with a little bit of a new slant on how we're going to achieve these goals. And if this has been working, well then how can I do more of it for the next quarter to bring more of that good shit in? I find it's really helpful to actually write in my Filofax at the end of each quarter time for a review, and I also put it in my Google Calendar to make sure that I don't forget to review quarterly, and then I can check in with whether or not I've been true to those goals and following those action points, and whether I actually still want those things for myself. After trialing it for a little while, has it actually turned out that that's not what I want at all, or it's not working out, or it's not quite what I expected it would be? Okay, well, now we're at the end of a quarter, we've got the opportunity to reassess that, figure out what hasn't worked, and move forward with a different plan. Treat yourself, mate, you've earned it. So part of this process and going through this process for me, I've come out the end of it thinking, for me, success looks like working on cool projects with cool people, but also getting a good amount of those chunky paychecks through the door from other clients that aren't necessarily what are edgy and cool and like wild and daring, and getting the mix just right. And as long as I'm making enough money to pay my bills and be okay. For example, last year I had what I would have deemed to be my most successful business year to date. Not financially. Financially, run of the mill, normal. In fact, if I hadn't signed a big project at the end of last year, my revenue would have been fucking abysmal, right? No one would have known that because I was published in a magazine for the first time. I was able to interview celebrities. I got featured in the Tone Knob newsletter, Nick Parker's newsletter, with my work showcased as being an excellent example of tone of voice. I had a really successful year. I was offered a publishing job for a witchy book, ghostwriting for someone with a major global publisher. Didn't take it, that's another story. Let's, move on from that. The fact is, I got that opportunity. I would say that in terms of opportunities and projects and cool shit, it was my best fucking year I've ever had. But I came away from it feeling like a fraud and a liar because my revenue numbers weren't as good as everyone else's. And I had to sit down and have a word with myself and be like, yeah, but you already had those numbers. Didn't make you happy. It's not what you wanted. This is what you wanted. Cool opportunities with cool people, like cool shit. That's what you wanted, and you got it. So you had a successful year. Why are you beating yourself up for not getting the same numbers as everyone else? That's not what it's about for you. Good for them. Good for everyone who hit 6 figures. Good for people that really had their best revenue year yet and signed clients and always get inquiries. Good for them. I can look at them and feel happy for them and realise that I'm happy for them, but that's not a reflection on how good my business is, because my business success looks different to what theirs does. And that's a really important thing to kind of get straight in your mind. You always have to keep coming back to that touchstone of being like, yeah, but what's my success metrics? Because we're not all the same. All of our businesses are different and all of our goals are different. So, in terms of like actual fucking businesses, like, I don't know, plucking out the air, Hollister, Apple, Boots, I don't know, shit like that, Adidas. Of course, their successes are always going to be about revenue. But as freelancers, we don't have to have that. We can have whatever we fucking want. So making this as a list as well, listing all this shit out with action points and whatnot, at the very end of the year, it allows you to objectively go back over that list and think, what did I achieve? Well done to me. Look at all this shit that I got done that I wanted to do. That's a fucking job well done, And if I didn't, why's that changed for me? And how can I move forward with that new information into the year ahead and always be making this business exactly what I want it to be? Because ultimately, for one, us as freelancers, we never take the time to acknowledge our achievements and actually sit down and enjoy them. If we were in-house, we would have review meetings where we would go through those goals with a manager who would congratulate us and reward us with a bonus or a pay rise or just a chocolate bar. I don't remember what it's like to be in-house. I'm sure they do shit like that, do they? A biscuit? As freelancers, we need to do that for ourselves. Reward ourselves for a job well done, look back over it and get the satisfaction of having hit those goals and followed that action plan. It's so important, and it's what's going to keep you going as a freelancer. And for 2, where was I going with this? Come on, babe. You really had a point there. Do you know what? When I'm editing and I watch this back and I figure out what it was I was going to say, I can drop it in right now. Take it away, Editing Emma. Editing Emma here. I've got no fucking idea what I was trying to say in that video. Point 1, point 2, I think probably I covered both of them in the first point. Essentially, the 2 points are we need to actually celebrate our wins as freelancers because we never do. And 2, we need to review our progress like a manager would if we were in-house, because otherwise it's really difficult for us to see our own growth and our own kind of development as professionals and as a business. So I think that those were the point 1 and the point 2 that I was trying to say. Celebrate your wins and evaluate your progress. I'm pretty sure, but I mean, to be fair, at this point, it's anyone's fucking guess, isn't it, what I was on about? And that brings me to the end of the video. I'm looking at the timer. I'm seeing it's been quite long. I really hope this has been useful. Let's make this year really good, yeah? Let's make it exactly what we would want it to be. As defined by you, in your business, of what is right for you, so that we can celebrate our peers and lift them up without feeling like imposters ourselves, and we can also get what we want from our business and make it what we want it to be and get what we want for ourselves, because no one's going to give you that shit. You've got to get it yourself. So you may as well have a plan of how you're going to fucking do that. And on that note, thank you for watching. Please don't forget to like and subscribe. And if you've made it this far into the video, you are my favourite. Thank you very much. And I'll see you back here, same time, same place, in 2 weeks for more Kiss My A's. Take care and peace out.